Hello traders, how's it going? Hope everyone is doing great today. Today I was kind of doing my back testing. I do this like every day, if not weekly. And you might be wondering, why do I have so many sessions? I do just sometimes want to test different market conditions and know how I can actually thrive through them or perform if they are not favorable, how I want them to be. What can I do under those conditions? And for those of you who know, I do trade GST, and I did learn from Garrett. He's almost assembled the GxT model. Credit to him, he's a great mentor. And I did learn from T-Trades too, and also AM Trades, the relevant swings, and weekly profile. And I also learned the quarterly theory, which we'll be using today. All of these concepts, we'll be using them today. Quarterly theory will apply the PSP, and I did learn also from MMXM traders. It's a whole lot like a family tree kind of a thing. But big credit to GST because it changed the game with this concept, especially the 4-hour profiling. And it's really amazing. I highly recommend you go check out all these traders. But before that, let's dive into it and create a session here. We have YouTube session and strategy. We'll put that GST in symbol. Futures. I'll be using futures today. We can still use Forex. It doesn't matter. The strategy to work on all markets. So we have YM, and I don't know if we should use this year's data, just the February. Maybe we should go to last year. That'll give, I don't know. Oh, we can keep it to the recent period, right? Yeah. Let's start from January, because we're certainly not going to do if maximum a month data, and January can fit in perfectly. So we put here to February what? Okay, let's keep it on 17, and the account size, I'll leave it here at 50K. Don't want to go up too much. So here we are. I don't like this color. I'm gonna put my favorite. I do have them saved already, so it's gonna be something simple to do. Are they even saved? Yeah, they are saved. And I do want to tackle this count to bar close. So I just want to know how many seconds, minutes, or hour left for the current candle to close. This helps me a lot, right? So, and I don't want this volume indicator. I'll take that out. Won't be using that anywhere on my chart, so I don't really need it. And I do want to tackle this interval. I want my time frame to sync across all intervals. So I think with this we are good to go. Just need to check our time. It's always going to be New York time, right? Make sure. So here we are currently on the 4-hour time frame, but we'll take a look at it weekly to see what last week did. And just keep in mind, this is January data, right? Kind of like, is it the first week of January? I think, yeah. So it can be crazy sometimes, you never know, but we'll see though. So where are we on the chart? We currently we engaged this key level in December, right? You can see that we have a relevant swing here. We engaged it, and we have what? An SMT with that high. We have an SMT there. Where is it? So there is an SMT there. So if we have an SMT with this high, what does that mean? That means price might, if that SMT should hold, then price should look forward to reaching to this low, right? So this can be a potential draw on liquidity. Not for this current week because I don't expect a drastic move all the way down here, but like overall draw liquidity, this could be it unless we break this SMT, right? So if this SMT should hold, then this is what I'm looking at. And where are we on this current week? This, okay, the week ended on Friday, so we kind of starting a new week. So I'll go ahead and move us to the London session. So we're currently on the, let's double checking the weekly time frame. So we engaged with this high here in previous week, did what? Didn't really expand much away from it. Kind of like consolidate, especially on this asset on the YM. We just kind of consolidated within this candle, right? So it will make sense to see that price at least take this high once again before reaching lower on this asset. We'll see what happens. So this is Monday. In looking at how Friday traded, what did we do on Friday? We engaged with its low and reversed from it. So kind of like retraces back within the weekly range of last week, right? So Friday trading to this relevant swing. It is a relevant swing. Look at the distance between this swing and this. So this is a relevant swing here. This is something I learned from AM Trade, so you can check him out. It's a great mentor, to be honest. So if Friday engages with a relevant swing and kind of like reverses, what should Monday do? Monday can distribute, right? So I'm not expecting Monday to trade into this high, but I do have a low hanging fruit here, which is this fair value gap. But before that, I need to look at what other asset did on that Friday. So we can see that we didn't engage with that level, which is hit here. We have an SMT, right? So this candle here, it is right here. So we have an SMT here, and we do have another. We have an SMT on this asset too. Remember, our overall bias is bearish, but now we have a short-term SMT that can either push price higher to take the range high, like I told you on YM. YM is kind of like consolidating within this candle, right? We have like a consolidation, so it will make sense for YM to take this high before we trade lower if we are going to respect this SMT. You understand? So right now we go down to the 4-hour and see what we have. Going into London, nothing much happened that I would like to draw my attention to, because I still have this fair value gap, which is formed from the 1800 candle. So it would have been better if the 2200 candle took its low before expanding away. So if that didn't happen, then I want the 2 a.m. candle to at least trade into this fair value gap before reaching for this high, if that's gonna happen. So let's see, I'm gonna put this to 10-minute and okay, we didn't trade into that level. So what does that mean? We cannot consolidating right now, right? So let's see what the 6 a.m. candle is going to do going into New York. On this asset, what can you notice? We have, is there a fair value gap here? No, we don't have a fair value gap here. So but we do have an SMT with its low, but that is not relevant to me because this key level is still pending. So let me check if we have any news this day. Monday 5th. Yeah, there is news at 10 a.m. So I don't expect 8 or 8:30 to do anything much here. Okay, what can you say? At 8:30, we engage with that level, which is a 4-hour fair value gap, right? So we engage to it. And what is that? It is a two-stage SMT. You see that? On this asset, we took this 2200 low, while on this asset, we did not. So we have a two-stage SMT here. This can be a confirmation that, okay, we're actually going to reach for this high, right? So for those of you who trade candle range theory, this kind of look like a candle range setup, right? Because we have this big candle right here, and we currently trading within each range just for the fact that we didn't take the low before going for this high. So it doesn't matter here. What I want you to notice is that we actually engage with this fair value gap here, and this can then drive price to this high, which is a daily fair value gap on a daily time frame, right? Do not forget that. So we have this high. So if 8:30 manipulate, what should 9:30 do? 9:30 should just expand, right? So at 8 we already manipulate. So what am I expecting 9:30 to shoot? 9 o'clock candle to do? I'm just expecting it to expand to this high. So I'll drop down to the 5-minute to see if we have any reversal signature. I think we do. We have expansion into that key level and expansion away from it, confirmed by a CSD, right? We do have a CSD here, and we have a CSD on this asset as well, and so do we have right here. So I just want to see if I can get a continuation signature. It has been presented already. I just look for means to get filled, and I don't really want to miss this trade, to be honest, because at this point price can just rip off, and before you know it, we hit the target without us getting filled in. So I'll put my position entry there, my limit order rather, there, and it will be a limit order right here, and I'll be risking 1%. So what am I thinking? I want price to retrace back into this fair value gap, then expand away. So it looks like we're not getting filled into there. Okay, we missed that entry here, but we have another one here. You can see that we have another entry here, but I don't like this one because we're leaving this fair value gap here. At least if we can take the fair value gap before CSD, that candle, then it will be better for me. So let's see if that will happen. Yeah, we did take it, but we just didn't get filled today, so we missed this one. It's okay. You're never gonna be in every trade, right? So everything can work out perfectly, but it just expand without you. And if we were to take the trade like a market order, you know, price was here, and I could take it right here. You understand? It would that give me 2 hours to go to that level, Where is our target? Right there. It's too far here, but this pretty much the target is close on this asset, so that's why I prefer NQ. So, but either ways, we could still take a market order here and reaching for 6 hour, whatever, and see if we get it. Oh, we just hit that level here. So you see why I preferred NQ? You see that NQ is just ripping off, but sorry, YM is just ripping off this asset. This is YM and this is NQ. Sorry, I mistaken them all. You can see that YM is just ripping off, while NQ now is kind of like just bullshitting around, and ES being the middle asset is also striving, and it got to that high. So anyway, we missed this one today, so we'll go to the next day and see what we can get. Just remove all of these. I don't want the chart to get too crowded, so I'll go on to the next day, London, and oh, I kind of like remove this level here. I want them back. So you can see now that, okay, we have taken this high and we have now like a double SMT, right? Which on this asset is a two-stage SMT, right? Because we have this asset was once stronger, now it has become weak, so it's a two-stage SMT. Let's see if that will be a confirmation, a trigger for reversal. So because this can actually be a trigger for the reversal. So this is Monday. Monday took this high, and let's see what Tuesday is gonna do. We can either reverse from here or this other asset catch up to this high. If YM is not reversing from this high, then NQ and ES is gonna catch up to this high, breaking this SMT. So that is what we have in mind going into this day. And looking at London, the 2200 didn't do anything much that I like, and the 1800 didn't do nothing. So I'm just gonna let London slide. This is, which is the 2 a.m. candle. I'm just gonna let it go and let's see how it actually traded. So we're looking for possibilities to trade lower, right? But we can see that we haven't engaged into any relevant level as we open, right? So we didn't engage anything relevant. We just opened, traded higher, and didn't take this high. I kind of like love to see this high being taken, but we didn't get to it. Rather, we engaged this fair value gap. Did we? No, this swing here. You see the space between the swing point and this one is kind of like relevant. We'll see how it goes. Or if you're not gonna consider that, then you can just use this fair value gap to be a relevant level, right? So we have an SMT. Is there any SMT even? I think we don't have any SMT there. Both assets just traded into that fair value gap, so there's absolutely no SMT there, but that doesn't matter. Let's see how price gonna react away from this fair value gap, right? So first have to check if we have any news on this day before we look at how the 8 a.m. candle is gonna form. There's no news on this day, so I'll just let the 8 a.m. candle print out. Okay, what did 8:30 do? 8:30 absolutely didn't do anything that I like. So I'm still hoping that maybe 9:30 will engage this low or this high. If we engage this low at 9:30, then I want 10 a.m. to expand to this high. If we do engage this high at 9:30, then I want 10 a.m. to take price lower. So we'll see what happens. But do note that we have an SMT with this 7 a.m. candle, but this is not any key level. So let's see what happens at 9:30. Okay, there is something here. 8:30 candle presented an SMT in this fair value gap. You can see we have a fair value gap here, a 30-minute fair value gap right here. So we had an SMT there with the 8:30 candle right here. And prior to 9:30, we form a two-stage SMT. You can see that this asset was one weaker at 8:30 and this asset stronger at 8:30, but now prior to 9:30 this asset has become weak and this asset strong. So there can be a trigger for reversal right away from this level, kind of like hinting that we're gonna reach this high. But this is just like a low probability trade for me because we did not have any SMT on the 4-hour from this key level, from this 4-hour fair value gap. So we didn't form any SMT there to confirm a reversal away from it. So even if I'm taking a trade to reach this high, it's like a low probability trade for me. But either ways, I'm gonna see if we have any possibility to get an entry here to reach for that high. I'm just gonna put a limit order here, targeting this level and at least 2R. Let's see if I can get 2R. Yeah, it will be there. I just want price to open, tag me at this high at least. You see, like an order block, right? It's an order block here, so I just want the high to get filled in there. Then if we're gonna expand higher, we should go. If we're not, then it's just gonna rip me off. And let me see if I'm gonna get filled today. I don't have the possibility to get in 1%, so I'm just hoping that I get tagged in, then I'll take 1% off because I'm currently entering the position with 2%, so I don't want to risk 2% here. Goodness. Don't tell me we missed this one again. Okay, having it here and we form a fair value gap here. I will certainly want to move my entry to this fair value gap and adjust my target to this high. Yes, so that will get me tagged in and let's see. Okay, we got this one today. So we kind of have a 2-hour here, 2.44. It was a good trade, as you can see. And the same thing that we did in the previous day is the same thing we're applying here. Just looking for SMT at key level, and if we get a strength switch, that'll become a trigger for a reversal away from that key level, and blending that with daily bias and basis of price, you get this kind of result. They're always not gonna be positive results every day, but you have to expect negative results if they do happen. Like the previous day we actually missed a trade that was in our favor. If we had been filled in, we'll get 7 hours in today. We missed the first opportunity, but we got filled in the second opportunity, resulting in a 2 hour profit. So that is how it works, you know. This trade could actually fail. That doesn't matter. That just means we're applying the same thing. Our losing trades and winning trades should be out of the same concept, right? Do not change your strategy because you have a losing trade or you miss a trade. You're going to start adjusting a whole lot. No, keep everything simple and consistent, right? So we got it today, and I don't know if there's much to do after hitting this level. We'll see. Maybe we can get another trade. Just so you know, I don't know if the back test the session is gonna last longer because my PC is getting low. Like I'm using my laptop here and the battery is almost down. So just to prepare you that maybe the session can end prematurely, whatever. But I'll do my best to keep it up. Even if this ends prematurely, I'll do another one. I was actually doing one yesterday and I got interrupted. I stopped. So is there anything I can do on this day? We still haven't hit this level here. You can see on ES we haven't hit that level yet, but NQ has traded to that level and YM is just kind of like bullshitting around. It's really not showing signs to get to this high, so it's not showing willingness to trade to that high. So whatever, let me see if I can get something. What I would like to see happen is NQ stay at that level, then at least ES doesn't take that level, and we kind of like form another fair value gap and present an SMT in that fair value gap. Then I'll use it to trade to this high, to trade the ES to that high. But only if that happens. If it doesn't happen, we're good already. Okay, we can see that ES already traded to that high and there's nothing anyone can do about it. Let me see if we're gonna have 15 minutes. Okay. All right, we do have a fair value gap here. Like what I was telling you, these two assets, NQ and ES, has traded to that high, and I do want them to be now they are stronger, right? They are the strongest asset in this triad because they have engaged this high, and I want them now to switch strength and become weak. That is exactly what we are seeing here. We can see that YM hasn't traded into this candle low, this 10 a.m. candle low, while NQ and ES have engaged that low. So we have a strength switch here. So this can be a trigger for price to reach, for YM to trade into this high here. So I'll see if I get opportunity there. Drop down to the 3-minute. I don't want to be like greedy here because we've had a good trade already. I don't want to have my good trade and at the end of the day I have it ruined because I'm trying to be part of every move now. But if that get offered, I'll take it. Sorry, I actually got interrupted, but I'm not stopping this one today. We have to continue. So what am I looking for? I'm just looking to see if this I can get a fill in and still get a minimum of 2 hours to trade to that high, because I don't want to take any trade that doesn't offer me at least 2 hours. And looking at it here, I don't have it, so I'm just gonna let that slide. And if we do trade to that high, that'll be good. Yeah, we did get to that high, right? So it's the same thing. Looking over and over, I think you understand why we get to that high, right? The asset that was once stronger now became weaker, and so we just want to trade the leading asset. That's why we're doing it, and pairing that with SMT strength switch, and that offers what we want, right? So it's nothing complicated. I don't know if anyone is lost here or it's kind of complicated at one point, but let me just like put it down. When I'm going into the day, right, I want to make sure I identify my bias for the day. Let's say I'm bullish for the day. Now, I want to look at what did the previous day do. And within that previous day on the 4 hour, I want to see a relevant level. And I only use two key levels. I use the fair value gap. I use fair value gaps. And I use swing points. Oh my goodness. Like a kid, man. I use fair value gaps and swing points. So within the previous day candle, I want to see the current day. Like if I'm bullish, I want to see the current day open, trade into that relevant level. It can be a fair value gap, it can be a swing point, form an SMT there. If not SMT, okay, we can still trade away from it. Like this current day, as you notice, the 4 hour candle traded into a fair value gap without presenting any SMT at that level, but still the day traded to our draw on liquidity. So if there is an SMT with that key level on the 4 hour candle, that just add up to a confluence that like solidify the idea that okay, we're gonna reach our draw on liquidity, or that give you more confidence that okay, that level is gonna hold. But if there is not SMT, okay, you can still go into it and look for entries if they do present, if other criteria are met, right? But you have to keep in mind that becomes a low probability trade. So I will look for price to open, trade into that key level, form an SMT, then trade away from it into my draw on liquidity. And once price trade into that key level on the 4 hour from an SMT, I drop down to the lower time frame. And like if London trade into the key level, then I'm trading New York. I look within the London 4 hour candle on the 1 hour for a relevant level. The same thing that I was looking for within the previous daily candle, I'm looking for it within the previous 4 hour candle. Same thing, fair value gap or a swing point can be confirmed by an SMT. Now on the hourly time frame, it is compulsory. There must be an SMT with that key level before I can engage with price. So I'm looking for price to open, trade into that key level, either within the driver, the driver trade into the key level, or prior to the driver we trade into the key level. So once I get that happen, then I can drop down to the 5-minute and look for a reversal signature CSD. Then I get filled in, boom, I take my trade. So it's nothing complicated. And I do have, I think, 2 videos on my channel already, like with all of this in depth. And if you can't get it well, you can also check the GxT. He's really putting this in the best form that anyone could. So I learned this from him, so he certainly is the master, right? So you can get a lot from him. So I'm just trying to show you how it can be from someone learning it. You understand, right? So but everything you have to blend everything with phases of price. Each component has its place to fit, right? So everything has to be together. So go in and look for another. We're currently on Tuesday, so going into Wednesday. We'll start from the London. Let's see what previous day did. Okay, remember our initial idea going into this week was price gonna reverse and this SMT here is gonna hold. Do you remember? So if price is not reversing from here, what does that mean? This SMT now has been broken, right? Has it been broken, Asia? Yeah, kind of like we see now the stronger asset are just ripping off. If the stronger asset are not reversing, then the weaker asset is going to catch up to that level, right? So that's just what it means. So yesterday, the previous day, which is Tuesday, we didn't take this high, but on YM we did. We ripped off that high. So going into this day, this is my draw on liquidity now, this high NQ and ES. While YM, I don't expect it to expand that much unless it's crazy. I'll just prefer to see YM just bullshit around while NQ and ES expand to this high. So I'm dropping down to the lower time frame to look within this previous daily candle, relevant key level to trade away from. And if I get an SMT, that level, that becomes much better. So we can see that we open and traded into this fair value gap here, right? A 2200 candle trade into that fair value gap. And on these assets, we did not. So we have an SMT with this fair value gap. So, and it's actually too close there. So I just want to see the 2 a.m. candle open, put in a small low, then expand away. Let's see if that happens. So I'm dropping down to the 1 hour time frame to look for let's see. So fast forward that. The first 30-minute candle, what did we do? And do not forget, SMT is compulsory now on this time frame, which is an hourly. It is a compulsory to get an SMT. If I don't get an SMT, I'm not engaging in anything. So we do have an SMT here. You can see that. So the only thing I don't like about this SMT is that there is no strength switch. At least I wanted one of these assets now to switch strength to become stronger. YM become weaker, but that hasn't happened. And if all assets are expanding, then I can look to trade it. Dropping down on the 15 minutes to look to see if we have any reversal signature. We do. We have this expansion into this key level and expansion away. What I just don't like about it is after the expansion we have a consolidation. So it's crazy. I don't like it. So I don't see anything that I like here. To be honest, I don't. I really don't see. So I'm gonna let that candle close. And we have a PSP right here. See that? We have a PSP and it's like a strength switch something. Remember, this asset is stronger, right? But now it prints a bearish candle. Why this asset that is weaker is printing a bullish candle? So that's a PSP. Let's see if there is any. Yeah, and we do have a reversal signature on the 3 minutes. So what I want to say is price should CSD this candle If we close above this series of down close candle, then I'm gonna take a trade. But I do know it's a low probability trade, but whatever. We'll try it. Maybe we'll just risk less. We didn't get it. So right now I'm not gonna waste more time on this candle. So I'm gonna go straight to 6 a.m. candle to see what we do, what we're doing. And the SMT still holds. Remember that we still have an SMT here. So I would like to see this high. This high now become a low hanging fruit. And all right, let me check if we have any news on this day. 7th January. Yeah, we do have news at 10 a.m. And what can you notice? We do have a form of strength switch right here. But I'm not taking that into consideration unless we just get ripped up. We do have a form of strength switch here. Yeah, so this can actually be like a trigger for price to expand to this highs. But I want that to happen at least maybe 8 o'clock candle or 8:30, stuff like that. I don't like it happening at 7. That's why I'm not gonna do anything about it. I'm not trading that one. Let's see if it's gonna give me something. Let me see. This is tempting, bro. This is really tempting. I don't know. We have a reversal signature here. We have like, we trade into the key level here. You can see that expansion, maybe expansion with CSD, and we form already a continuation, which is a retracement back into this fair value gap or other block. Then with CSD, that series of down close candle. So we have a continuation signature from here, and the same thing here. So that can literally mean 8:30 will open, test this, then expand higher. I don't know, to be honest. Nothing is guaranteed. Just I am not comfortable with the fact that this two-stage SMT actually formed but at 7. I just don't like it. I'll let that slide. If I miss it, I miss it. Yeah, because I'm not taking a trade. Let me see. Yeah, we missed that one, bro. Just no problem. Can't take everything always, you know. Do I have another opportunity? Yes, prior to 9:30, which is what I like, we have an SMT with this fair value gap. You can see that this asset trade into that candle, which is 8:30 candle, and that 8:30 candle has formed a fair value gap, and on this asset we failed to take it. So I'll be trading this middle asset. You can see that this is a middle asset. This asset is weaker and this YM is stronger, right? So look down on there, 2 minute. Do we have any reversal signature? Yeah, we do have it here. I'll just take the market entry, whatever, and I'll kind of like target a little bit surpass that high and see if that works. The crazy thing would be for me to actually avoid that entry because the strength switch occurred at 7, then come and take a loss here. You understand? We're crazy, right? Let's see. It's exactly what I get. That's funny, right? Anyways, like I said, like you can sometimes get winners, sometimes you get losers. Doesn't matter, right? We just have to make sure you're having the same idea every time. You can see here we have a 2-stage SMT with this level. So this asset that was once weaker is now stronger. So looking to reach this high, right? Or potentially get to that high. And this asset now that was once stronger has become weaker. So it's just amazing to see. But this asset stay weak. So I'm still gonna take another entry here. I hope I don't get chopped off again. And I'm hoping that this asset not only reach this level, but it also get to this draw on liquidity. This was our initial draw on liquidity going into this day, remember? This high. So I'm hoping we get there. And if we get there, I'm gonna close this position once this asset trading to that level. So if we don't, then okay, that was it for the day. Now that we have hit that level, I do want to take my stop loss to break even because anything can happen because we've already engaged with that level. So let's see if I get the 2R. To be honest, I don't know. We got close at break even. There was no way I could get a 2R here. Maybe if I was looking for 1.5R, I could get it here. Whatever. So that's it. I really think I have to end the backtesting here. I'll do another video, to be honest. I will.